All right. Week 1, we had a plethora of missed kicks. Week 2, 5 quarterbacks get injured at the same time in the same week. While one of them was Joe Burrow, none of them were Aaron Rodgers. And then week 3, we have the phenomenon of 5 second-string quarterbacks starting at the same time, and 3 blocked field goals made within 5 minutes of each other. That's crazy. What is going on? What is up, everybody? My name is Advance, and this is Advanced Sports Talk. All right, so back with week 3 of the NFL Sunday games. Quick update, quick announcement. I will be once again separating the games from Sunday games to the primetime games, between the Sunday and the primetime games, because me sitting here and talking for 30 minutes going through every single game is exhausting. So, and it gives the primetime games a little bit of shine too. You know, their own special segment. I might divvy it up further, but we'll experiment with that as the season goes on. Now, all right, now to the games. As I've stated, we had 5 second-string quarterbacks that were starting this week, because it was 5 quarterbacks that got hurt last week. Oh man, so we got Marcus Mariota, Mac Jones, Jake Browning, who I think might be the only new guy on this list, Tyrod Taylor, and Carson Wentz. Oh man, I'm gonna have to do a separate another little segment that I do on this channel called Second Chance Quarterback. So yeah, we're gonna, you know, I might do that video later this week, as a matter of fact. But with that being said, let's get into these breakdowns, because man, this was nuts. All right, first, of course, we're gonna start off with my game, Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the New York Jets. So, all right, I'll put this hat on for the time being. And man, so starting right off with Tyrod Taylor. And let's see, outside of the pick 6 that he threw, he didn't do too bad. He was 26 for 36, 197 yards, 2 touchdowns. Baker Mayfield, 19 for 29. So they both missed 10. So let's see, 233 yards, 1 touchdown. Yeah, Bucky, 66 yards rushing. Breland Allen, 30 yards rushing. Garrett Wilson, 84 yards receiving. Mike Evans, 33 yards and 1 touchdown. Hold on, because there was more. Because we was running all over the place yesterday. Let's see. Sterling Shepard, 4 receptions for 80 yards. Emeka Ibuka, 6 receptions for 85 yards. They was talking about how, you know, the analysts were going crazy on that guy. They were talking about how he was expected to be a number 2, and now he had to be a number 1. Mike Evans injured his. He pulled his hamstring in this game near the end of this game. So yeah, he's definitely gonna miss a couple of weeks. I don't want them to play around with that, but I'm glad that he's missing it now as opposed to later on. Even though we got Philly next week, but nevertheless, game was touch and go, back and forth for a minute. Actually, no, we was dominating. The Bucs was dominating the game up until the 4th quarter. Then they said, Garrett Wilson caught a passing touchdown. Let's see, Chase McLaughlin field goal. Alan Lazard caught a passing touchdown. And But I gotta chuckle at this because this is what started. This was actually I think it was the last of a chain of blocked field goals. So our field goal got blocked, and Will McDonald ran it back for a touchdown. and it's crazy because we was on 4th and 1. I was thinking, I'm like, man, I probably would have just went for it. Because worst case scenario, okay, they're set up at their 20-yard line. But yeah, nevertheless, he ran it back. He ran it back for a touchdown and ended up scoring. So, like I said, that was the end, right? So 3 TVs over, because all of these TVs were right next to each other at the bar. We got the Browns and oh my God, the Browns and the Packers. So that game was way more competitive than I thought it was. And yeah, I'm jumping all over the place. I'm gonna get back to them. So the Browns and the Packers. The Browns blocked the Packers field goal, and then they drove down the field and kicked the field goal of their own with a few seconds left on the clock to win the game. Then, not long, like less than 30 seconds after that, on the TV next to it, the Eagles blocked the kick from the Rams and ran that back for a touchdown. And then I was like, damn, sucks to be them. And then this happened in my games. Oh man, but no, that was crazy. Yeah, the Jets fought back at the end. So Tampa drove down the field, kicked the field goal, won the game 29-27. But I'm gonna talk more about that on Buck Dynasty. And I know I'm going out of order of what it has on my phone here, but I already brought the games up, so I might as well talk about them. The Green Bay Packers versus the Cleveland Browns. Yeah. That game was very low scoring. The Packers was holding a 3-0 lead going into halftime. Let's see. Then they scored a touchdown in the third quarter, and then the Browns scored all 13 of their points in the fourth quarter. And Quinshon Judkins. So the Browns ended up beating the Packers 13-10. Let's see. Jordan Love, 18 for 25, 183 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Joe Flacco, 21 for 36, 142 yards passing, 1 interception, no touchdowns. All right, next game I just talked about once again. LA Rams versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Hold on, what is this, Matt? Oh, Matthew Stafford throws his 382nd career touchdown, surpassing Matt Ryan for ninth most in NFL history. Oh, okay. Hey, congrats to Matt Stafford, surpassing Matt Ryan. In any case, Philadelphia Eagles, LA Rams versus Philadelphia Eagles. And man, this game was crazy because Eagles was getting trounced on at first in the first half. And then coming out of halftime, actually, when Kieran Williams Kieran Williams hit that touchdown, he caught that touchdown pass. It was looking pretty grim, but then the Eagles do what the Eagles do. They rallied back. Dallas Goedert touchdown. AJ Brown touchdown. Devontae Smith touchdown. And of course, as I mentioned, the Jordan Davis blocked field goal ran back for a touchdown to put the nail in the coffin. Oh man, it was That was great. But no, Matt Stafford, 196 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Jalen Hurts, 21 for 32, 226 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Kieran Williams had 94 yards rushing. Saquon had 46 yards rushing. Not his best day, but yeah. Now let's see. Puka Nacua, 11 receptions for 112 yards. AJ Brown, 6 receptions for 109 yards. Eagles beat the Rams 33-26. All right, so now we can get back on format here. Indianapolis Colts versus the Tennessee Titans. Man, yeah, that was not a good game for the Titans. Yeah, Colts beat the Titans 41-20. Daniel Jones is on quite the redemption arc down there in Indianapolis. 18 for 25, 228 yards rushing. Oh my God, 228 yards passing, 1 touchdown. Cam Ward still figuring it out. 23 for 38, 219 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Jonathan Taylor, welcome back to the league. 17 carries for 102 yards and 3 touchdowns. Michael Pittman, 6 receptions for 73 yards and 1 touchdown. Colts beat the Titans 41-20. Next, Pittsburgh Steelers versus the New England Patriots. And look, let me tell you, it was getting pretty grim there for the for the Steelers. But they got that 2-minute touchdown, that last touchdown before the 2-minute warning. But man, that game was actually a lot better defensively than what I'm letting on. Hold up, Drake May. Okay. Hold up. Drake May, 28 for 37. 268, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Aaron Rodgers, 16 for 23, 139, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. I mean, hey, don't matter. Hey, a win is a win. Drake May had 45 yards rushing. Say Drake. I hear you like to run. I can't take credit for that one. My homeboy made that. Shout out to Tony. Oh man. Yeah, so apparently Hunter Henry remembered his former glory back with the Chargers. 8 receptions for 90 yards. 2 touchdowns. Hey, Steelers beat the Patriots 21-14. All right, so we back. Got another redemption story here. All right, the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Washington Commanders. And man, the Commanders whooped on them. 41-24. Marcus Mariota was 15 for 21, 207 yards rushing, 1 touchdown. Okay. I mean, but the Raiders didn't go down swinging though. Geno Smith, 19 for 29, 289 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. Trey Tucker, 8 receptions for 145 yards. Damn. Let's see. Mariota had a rushing touchdown. Jeremy Nichols had a rushing touchdown. And Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt had a touchdown. He's resting on his merits. Yeah. Commanders beat the Raiders 41-24. Atlanta Falcons versus the Carolina Panthers. I don't know what happened in this game. Panthers beat the Falcons 30-0. So it looks like the Panthers is probably going to be the one to rise up and take that second slot, unless Atlanta can turn it around. We shall see. Damn, Michael Penix threw 2 interceptions. Bryce Young, while he didn't throw any touchdowns, This was a this is a game very well managed. All right, so Cincinnati Bengals versus the Minnesota Vikings. Let's see, what is this? Isaiah Rodgers becomes the first defensive player in Vikings franchise history to score 2 touchdowns in a single game. First defensive player. Okay. Man, Isaiah Rodgers had himself a game, it looks like. Yeah, he had a fumble recovery. Yeah, fumble recovery for a touchdown and an interception return for a touchdown. So, yeah, so a fumble recovery and a pick 6. Hey. Man, so, yeah, Jake Browning put up some impressive stats last week, but not so much this week. 19 for 27, 140 yards passing and 1 touchdown through 2 interceptions, one of which I just mentioned. Carson Wentz, though. Hold up. All right, this is how you start the redemption tour. We're gonna see. Like, it wasn't that long ago where Carson Wentz was, carried a team to the playoffs twice. One time, it resulted in the Super Bowl. So, hey. So let's see. Carson Wentz, 14 for 20. 14 for 20, 173 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Jordan Mason, 16 carries for 116 yards. What was that? TJ Hockenson, 5 receptions, 49 yards, 1 touchdown. All right, now let's look at the full team breakdown. Justin Jefferson, 5 receptions, 75 yards. Josh Oliver. Okay, that's who he threw the other touchdown to. Hey, not bad, Carson. All right, hey, making a case to, we'll see how long they're gonna try to keep JJ McCarthy out. But they invested too much in him. So, but hey, he's definitely gonna get another opportunity somewhere. We'll see how he do next week. All right, next, Houston Texans versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars won 17-10. Yeah, CJ Stroud, 25 for 38, 204 yards. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Trevor Lawrence, 20 for 40, 222 yards passing, no touchdowns, 1 interception. Travis Etienne was the star, it looks like. He got the touchdown. All right, Nico Collins, 8 receptions for 104 yards. Brenton Strange, no relation to Doctor Strange, 6 receptions for 61 yards. Let's see. Nick Chubb didn't do anything. It just looked like outside of Nico Collins, the Texans just couldn't get anything going. Not to say that the Jaguars was really running amok either, but yeah. All right. Next, Denver Broncos versus the LA Chargers. Oh boy. Yeah. Chargers beat the Broncos 20-23. Let me find out. Hold up. The Chargers. Well, the Chargers was always a contender, but the Chargers started off 3-0. They was like, you know what? Nah, we gonna stop playing right now. People gonna put some respect on our name this year. Yeah, Justin Herbert, 28 for 47 for 300 yards passing and 1 touchdown. Let's see, Keenan Allen returning to the league, 7 receptions, 65. Well, returning to the team, I should say. 7 receptions, 65 yards, 1 touchdown. Omarion Hampton, 70 yards rushing, 1 touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, who I believe got hurt. Oh, no, he didn't get hurt. 83 yards, 1 touchdown. Chargers won 23-20. Alright, New Orleans Saints versus the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks beat the Saints 44-13. Let's see. Spencer Rattler 28 for 39, 218 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Sam Darnold 14 for 18 for 218 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. And where the hell? All right, who is it? Jackson Smith and Jigba, 5 receptions, 96 yards, 1 touchdown. Let's scoot on over to Seattle. Who else did they have going crazy over there? Really, nobody else got above 32 yards passing. So, yeah, Jackson Smith and Jigba was the one that was going crazy. Yeah. Seahawks beat the Saints 44-13. Next, Arizona Cardinals versus the San Francisco 49ers. Second chance QB alert. San Francisco beat the Cardinals 16-15. Oh man, Mac Jones reintroducing himself to the team, or to the scene, I should say. 27 for 41, 284 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Let's see. Ricky Pearsall, 8 receptions for 117 yards. Christian McCaffrey, 52 yards rushing. Still trucking, but hey, you know the second he get hurt, you know who they got on the bench behind him, right? Yeah, Brian Robinson. Oh man, why Washington let him go? I have no idea. All right, last but not least. No pun intended. The Dallas Cowboys versus the Chicago Bears. And man, Caleb Williams. Caleb, tell me you mad without telling me that you mad. Oh man, 19 for 28, 298 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. Man, I know Dak was livid. But no, he didn't do too bad either. 31 for 40, 251 yards, 1 touchdown. Okay. Luther Burden, 3 receptions for 101 yards. Deshaun Jackson-like numbers. Yeah, Rome Odunze. I talked about him last week. 3 receptions for 62 yards, 1 touchdown. Burden had a touchdown too. DJ Moore. DJ Moore, 21 yards, 1 touchdown. All right, not bad. Like, yeah, the Bears are starting to figure it out. They're gonna be a force this year. All right, so that concludes the Sunday portion of the NFL games, and we're gonna break down the other ones. We're gonna break down the primetime games next, and of course, I got to do my segment for Buck Dynasty. But in any case, put your comments in the comment section down below. 1 o'clock games, 4 o'clock games. What did who's your team? Did they go how you thought they was gonna go? What do you think? Put your comments in the comment section down below. We're gonna chop it up, start this conversation. My name is Zach Vance. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe on everything. I'm out.